tired of shooting your target stand? Do you wish that you could shoot paper just like Jerry Michalek, but didn't want to have to pay for all that setup? Well, boy, do I have the thing for you. Look what I just found in the garbage. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to take scrap pieces of wood and turning them into target stands. Be about 3.5 inches. About 3.5. Doesn't have to work. Just has to work. Need 4 of those. Doesn't have to work. Doesn't have to perfect. Just in case. Because these guys are split. Now for an IPSC target stand, it might be about 21 inches outside to outside. That'll give us approximately 18 inches inside to inside for stapling our paper target. What I do is I just figure out which side I want to be the bottom. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to arbitrarily decide that this is the bottom here. Make sure you get it flush with the top there, so that when the screw sets in, it's going to be flush with the top of your board. Get it started. So it pokes out that little bit, just like that. Wood. We already lost our mulligan. We'll do the same for this outer side here. Inch in is what's typically recommended. Don't get a split or to it. Screw. Get it sticking out. Enough for you to index that hole that we started. Just get it tight. But not too tight. Make sure it's not going to move. The tricky part is getting it spaced out so that you can slip in your posts here. I have found that these aren't exactly consistent between pieces, and so it's best to just kind of eyeball it. Maybe between a 16th and an 1/8 inch, making sure that your bottom side is going to be flush with the tops of these. I didn't do a very good job on that one, so I'm going to have to do some hillbilly hacking to get that back to where I want it to be. That there. Another screw in the bottom here. And screw all the way in, because then there'll be no meat. It really doesn't matter, because worst case scenario, you shoot these things, and they're gonna break. You're gonna have to make more anyway. Boom. That nice. Slides right. You see how it goes through. It's not perfectly tapered. The wood bows from the mill to Home Depot, so you gotta space it out just enough for it to slide through, because we're not trying to lock it in. It's meant to be portable. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Way easier if you square up your edges and make all of your cuts nice and square, because then you can make everything fit perfect. Put that on that side, which that might be an issue, so we'll see. Oh, see, look. See? That's why we flipped it over. Otherwise we'd get screwed and have to start all over again. That is okay. We can make that work. And that, see, a little bit looser. Kind of like your mom on Prime Night. Alright. Very nice. This pleases the wood. Alright, so now we're going to cut our other half of this so that we can maintain the stick, otherwise the stick's just going to fall right over. Since we're working out here on the tailgate, I like to have a little piece of dummy wood on the underside I'm just going to put one screw in it so that I don't cut my fingers off. That's enough to hold it straight. And a little cheat for finding the exact half. I know this is 5 1/2, so it's going to be 2 3/4, but if you don't know what it is, you take your tape measure, you measure the total width, and then you bend it in half so that it lines up with that 5 1/2, and you look on the underside, and look, that's 2 3/4 right on the inside. A 55-year-old crackhead taught me this in construction. He knew a lot more than most monks do in Tibet. We're just gonna mark it. And we're gonna draw a line across with my calibrated precision carpentry square edge. By the way, that way I've got something to hold on to as well. And what you want to do is you want to set your depth of your saw so that it only cuts just past the wood that you want to cut. So we're going to set it on the wood right there so that it will pass right through that bottom layer of wood, give us a clean edge, but also not cut through the second 2x4 so that we can use it for another project. And if I give you a side profile here, you see that the blade just barely cuts through the bottom right there. Then you cut it right down the middle of the line. FFI battery, huh? Nikita circle square. Boom. Just like that. A nice clean cut. And because we adjusted our depth absolutely perfectly, the wood underneath wasn't even marred a single bit. Always adjust your saw depth. Alright, so now that we have that done. Now this is a little cattywampus. It looks pretty ugly. So what I might do is I might trim up the edges real quick, so that they look nice at least. Yeah, that's accurate enough. Just to get them roughly the same. Give it the nice crooked line. Watch your fingers. There you go, perfect. Just a little sliver that we can go a micro scotch deeper, but we'll save those for a snack later. Now that we have these, we can make our really economical stand. Alright, double check. These fit nice. Okay. What I like to do is, because we're drilling another screw in through here, so you gotta make sure that we don't split that wood that we so preciously took the time out to keep from breaking, and we don't have any more mulligans. So, and then I take that pinhole, I'm just going to go all the way through with it. Give it a little chamfer so that helps our screw get guided in there. And then I'm going to put this screw in temporarily, if I had a battery. Oops, take that off. I want to make sure, see, look, had I kept going, it would have split our wood. Go a little bit more. Find the hole that we carefully just drilled to prevent anything evil from it. Voila. We have some semblance of craftsmanship. Alright, so now I'm going to drill another hole right here so we can get a base. Found that these cut a little better on the slower speeds. Look at that. Beautifully clean. Same thing we did on the other side. And then we're just going to drive them both home. And since these screws aren't very long, I want this to be relatively strong. I'm Dr. Seuss. I'm probably just going to send it to get about halfway into the board, because right now we have about that much meat in there. And while 1 inch is a lot by most standards, Don't let any woman tell you otherwise. I'm just gonna pile drive that thing in there because it's not about the size, it's about how you use it. So now my bit's about there. So our screw is mostly through the wood. We have a little micro fracture there that might give us some ball crushing pain later. But you know what? This is just for a quick and dirty setup. And cheap. This was all scraps from a deck that I built recently that was going to go to the dump anyway. So if I can make some free target stands, this will be the third one that I make out of these. So if we can get some free stuff out of it and upcycle this stuff, because we love the earth. My favorite thing is to plant lead in dirt berms. It's quite therapeutic. Not great for the environment, but it's great for society because it makes me a better person. Alright, don't touch too much. Start slow and then go fast. Kind of eyeball square it from the top so that it's roughly flush. Remember, this is going to be absolutely a step up from garbage, but it's our garbage and we like our garbage. Dang it, didn't penetrate enough. Just like prom night. Gave it to her. Remember, this isn't a craftsmanship home that we're building here, or cabinets. We're building something that we're inevitably going to shoot because we suck at shooting and we're trying to get better, and that's why we go to the range. So the less we pay for it, the more use we can get out of it, and the more money we save for ammo. Second screw here. Hole. Be carefully made. Alright. Now here's where it gets scientific. So, things may have messed up as we went along, right? So now we're going to calibrate the tension on those screws. See this one? It's nice on the top, a little tight towards the bottom, which is okay, but we just want to make it easier on ourselves. Because if these ever get wet and they swell, we're just going to have a dig of a time to get them in and out. And look at that. Remind you of something? Yeah. It's good wood. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And what do you know? Full penetration, nice and easy. No resistance, full consent. So now because I didn't flush this one off on the bottom there, you can sort of see it, I guess. I'm going to take my saw. We're going to go all the way down with it since we have enough height off of our top here. I'm just going to take a little off the top so that it's good and flush with the bottom. Remember, we're not going for beauty here. It's not a beauty pageant. It's a function pageant. The more time we spend on this, the less time we have doing things we enjoy in life. Unless you enjoy being anal about the littlest crafts that you put into life, which, by all means, go for it. But, okay, this would be easy to do mathematically since we're at 36 inches total length. I'm going to cut this in half because we're cheap, and I'm not going to buy a new piece of wood for the legs. We're going to do our trick here. We're going to take the tip of our tape, and we're going to put it right at 36, and we're going to read that number right there at the top, right on the inside of that bend right there, 18 inches. So we're going to mark it 18 inches. And get on. Alright. We're just going to be dirty with it. They're just legs. Sure, the longer the legs, the more stable. That's what they all say, but some of the most unstable people have the longest legs I've ever seen. So, we're going to put this here. We're going to try to measure it roughly so that it's in the middle. That way we have front and back stability. 18 inches would be 9 inches to the center. And I'm gonna put a screw right into that meat right there. Well, if I was more prepared, we're gonna just do a pilot hole so we don't split it. And that's good to go. Okay, do the same thing on this other side here. Success. Find that hole just like we always do. And then we're going to back out just a pinch so that we can have some pipping. Because we're going to lay them like that when they're in transit. We're going to open them up when we're ready to use them. No sense in taking up more space. If you want it to be uber duper goober strong, you put 2 screws in it and, you know, make it all flush and all the same size. But we don't care about that on this channel. Just want it quick. It's a little dirty. So be it. Life so very rarely goes as planned. Things like these are what we have control of. And if you want to take the time and the care to make it perfect. Oh, actually, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, but to bust a nut, that's perfect. That couldn't be any more perfect. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's it. And then there's your stand. I usually put them like this. Then you take your verticals, put them in like so's. And look at that. Now, once you're done building the base of your stand, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Home Depot and you're gonna get yourself some 1x2. And it's gonna come in 8-foot sticks. You're gonna take a little handsaw or something and you're gonna cut that sucker in half. Yes, in half. And that'll give you just enough height to get you right about torso level. Now, once you got your sticks cut, you're gonna need some clamps. Clamps are the cheapest way of doing it because these are 99 cents a pop, and if you shoot them, they'll still work. Here's a clamp that my friend shot with a 9mm, and it's still holding on just tight. Now, let me know in the comments if you want a part 2 showing how to make these silhouettes for almost free. Be happy to make that for you.